that they kind of pull out to get ahead of their opponents here. It's super reliant on all the individuals looking good out of the gates. So let's see if they do for FaZe.
Down and lower. Shots connecting. Twist hits the head, and HooXi's got all the util, so that's a massive trade back to keep this round alive for G2. They would have no game plan if he falls here, and he still might. Perfect flash peek. Brokey gets that kill. Maybe a smoke dropped in lower. G2 can't wait for it. They've got to run right up into the site. They'll make it for now, but Rain's trying to pick them on that cross. Bomb makes it in. Odyssey with a long part and a P250. He's going to need to step up.
Yeah, gonna have to do a lot here. His old mate Monacy flashing over, JKS dead, and now, Karrigan comes swinging up. And so FaZe do lock in a pistol. Kind of even cool, you know, having this this FaZe versus JKS, obviously, because, you know, we talk about that Katowice matchup. We talk about FaZe v G2 there, and obviously it was with JKS standing in. So kind of a double agent now as he's joined the other side.
Yeah, you know, he was filling in, obviously, at the time for Rain, playing the entry role. I think the final map was Dust2, and JKS pulled off some incredible rounds in that series as well. So that is an exciting parallel to be drawn. And I like what Maui was saying on the desk as well, talking about HooXi. You know, obviously, we're not really at the point anymore in CS where Tier 1 IGLs can't or can afford to go silent and not frag. But at the same time, flawless in the Pro League so far, not just in series, but in maps. The T-sides for G2, which have been a problem in the past, have been solid so far this Pro League. So I'm excited to see if that can keep up in this game. Awkward smoke hits G2 in the back, but they're going to have to commit.
Oh, they don't believe in the car check, and Rain's even helping out from the double doors. That's going to send G2 away. That bomb doesn't want to go into the B site alone, so Nico starts to go back through the tunnels. Hunter now needs to give them a kind of way out of this one. Creeping through short. Karrigan's seen him, but is a little late to that check. And so suddenly there is a path opened up into the A bomb site.
Bomb's trapped. No util.
That's a little awkward. You can see HooXi's moving back around to try and help out, right? He's going to attempt to lend a helping hand to this bomb from the top of middle.
They seem to know because they saw this B attempt earlier on in the round, and even though it fell apart, I think they've realized that this bomb hasn't crossed yet. HooXi has to get this kill. Unless Rain walks doors, Nico could just deke him out of the round. There it is.
Oh, no.
Oh, saved by the bell. Nico's going to get that molly in, and he should be able to cross up catwalk if he needs.
Even having that kill is a little problematic, though. Oh, Hunter went and retrieved the smoke from Karrigan's body.
They're making it work.
They're scavenging all the pieces to make this round happen. Hunter's been entrusted with the bomb, but he is here alone. If Brokey drops it, he wins the round. But Brokey's suspicious that they're already in the site. He's thinking, like, there's no way the bomb's crossing on its own right now. It was, and that was his best opportunity to win it. This might just be a save now for FaZe.
What a great mid-round for G2. You know, there were a lot of ways that could have gone awfully wrong for them, but they absolutely saved themselves there. And just like you said, the unexpected situation, so confusing to FaZe that, you know, they don't take their opportunity to win the round. Brokey, a 1v1 there to just end it, but he doesn't know that. He expects so much more cover. G2 all over the map. Rob's trying to get an exit, knows they'll come towards long at the end. He might have something here. Knives are out, Hunter pulls a gun, but it's too late. Rob's at the exit and even staying around for a second, but Nico crosses back. G2 on the board early as their force buy finds success.
It's competitive right out of the gate, and that's exactly what we want from this matchup. That force buy. The landing being stuck by G2. It's impressive. It's even more impressive when you think about how it all kind of started. This was the real, you know, one of the swing kills that really kick-started the round, and then this mid-push from Rain.
That barrel goes through the
barrel
wall.
Clipping through as well, giving him even more warning.
We don't love that. We really don't love that. Silencer lets a lot of people down. We saw that on Nuke just the other day in Group A. Yeah, that's maybe something for Valve to take a look at. The old silencer. Rops is moving up mid. FaZe love to do this more often than not. Rain making these plays happen, but Rops has the rifle and he's going to put it to use. There's no one watching. As long as these A players don't fall, Rops has great timing. He's in no hurry, however. Going to go back and clear all of T spawn. With Hunter holding outside of B late, he's either waiting for a flank or G2 provided a path to go back. They won't. They're going to commit as FaZe flash into a fight. Brokey gets a kill, and the molly comes down to stall things out. Hunter can lurk B. It is empty.
Yeah, but he's kind of feeling a bit of an urge to come and get involved here, to still try and play into this. And even if they try to go back to join him, Long is now accounted for by Rops in this M4. So in a way, Hunter has to come over. Hunter has to come and help out with the A play. Not going to have him on hand to late lurk through that B site, let you know it's clear, but he will be arriving on Cat in the perfect moment. Brokey blowing out, and Carrigan gonna fall in the take of the A site. They do overrun FaZe. A really nice little adjustment there just to clean up the catwalk. You know, get rid of these kind of deeper angles that FaZe could have had, and they did.
Yeah, these early couple of rounds are really conditioning FaZe away from that B site as well. They never even saw nor heard Hunter towards B, and he comes out late catwalk as well. FaZe are going to be even more scared to, flank middle and come up on Xbox plays to try and retake A site. So G2, once they start throwing in B execute as well, this T site can get very good very quickly. We do have all the makings of a 3-mapper here with the veto. Keep in mind, Nuke is up next, and it's one that FaZe have been untouched on for a while now. Question is, will the new in-game leader of G2 and whatever prep they've put in be enough to overwhelm FaZe on what is likely the most tactical map right now? Still broke boys on the FaZe clan side.
Yeah, the fact that Rops has kept this A1S out since they won the pistol it's quite nice. He's always got something to offer up in rounds like this. And it means that if you get dealt this B play, it's still a big if, but if you get dealt it, this A1S is going to be in the right place at the right time. So if Rops has a big individual moment here, who knows, FaZe could do something. It's going to take a hell of a lot. He's got teammates in the window just trying to draw them in. They've seen twists now. Smoke goes out. Going to give them a bit of a veil to try and cross in behind. Going up, going over. Rops not looking for the jump up. Gonna have to flick for it if Nico does decide to commit to this. Damage done. Carrigan's P250 strikes first. At this point, they still don't know about Rops at the car, but Monacy's gonna clear him out. And Hunter and JKS do the rest. That's the 3-1 for G2. Rops very, very patiently waiting there. It still dies immediately. Great check for Monacy.
Yeah, talk of patience. I love how G2 slowed down in that round as well. They know that FaZe don't want to fully rotate. They don't want to commit just yet, just off of 1 or 2 players spotted at B. They throw that front sight smoke. They're able to drop a molly. That should stop anyone from going into the site. Carrigan doesn't care anyway. He jumps in. But G2 just stand around in the tunnel entrance and wait for the kills to get gifted. Eventually, FaZe go for fights. Carrigan blind at Long as Hunter takes that opening kill, and Hooksy dives pit side, almost catching Rain's retreat. And G2, what you'll notice in a lot of these rounds, not this one yet, is they've had more often 4-1s. Hunter outside of B on a long take, right there, JKS holding Long on the B take. It gives them a way out. It means FaZe can't get aggressive and get info early. And now G2 fall back into that same mantra again. They set Monacy up in pit with the orb. They fully rotate. And the best part about this is they don't need to hurry and hit this B site. Monacy's going to be calling for a bit of time to work a pick. But without an orb, FaZe won't be facing back on long A. They don't have a flash to even get info. So this is actually going to work to FaZe's benefit to a degree. However, Rops is alone at the B site. And again, we rely on a multi-kill, or G2 will find a 4th.
Yeah, it's Rops, get 2 or lose, and he's already fired off. Oh my goodness!
Oh, he got 2.
2.5 ain't bad. Hunter's down low. That's going to keep FaZe interested. And right now, they've got a 3v2 over at this B-bomb site. More damage through the smoke this time. Nico and Hunter both looking worse for wear. Rain's even wrapping the tunnels quickly. Nico having to put on a bit of a show here, but it's just 1 kill from him. Monacy very, very far away, but they don't have the kit. He doesn't know that, however, and so he doesn't even attempt going for this one. just going to hold on to that AWP.
Yeah, if anything, the lack of utility and the lack of an AWP there for FaZe forced them to set up on Catwalk to stop that A take if G2 were to commit on their long pick. And with them being away from long A, it just meant they were super quick to get into that B site once the entries came in. Helped out by Rops' double, or 2.5 as you say, but Rain's flank and tunnel is so speedy there. And just off the plant, they're immediately dead. And that's the knowledge that, yeah, we can stick this bomb. Range just cleared the flank. Monacy's nowhere to be seen. Full stick, 4 FaZe. They find a second. Fast out long for G2, though. Nico.
How's he still alive?
No idea. The smoke creates a bit of a barrier.
He's there we go. Finally, right? It was about time.
All it took was 2 mags and 2 nades.
Yeah.
Oh, they saw him.
Honestly, now going to get down into the pit as well. This AWP set up once more, and they know they've got a guy trapped in at the car. Molly moves out to try and flush Brokey into the open. Going to hold his ground for now, but there is another Molotov ready to go in. His teammates have got smokes back in the site, so he's not completely screwed. Carrigan can save him if the Molly is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, they're going to need to. Will this Molly go through? Hunter gets off, but he's going to throw it in front. Make sure it lands deep. And Brokey's trapped. Carrigan saves him again.
There's that side smoke.
This is just time wasted. It's the same as, you know, smoking a choke point, albeit a little more dangerous. G2, 45 seconds. They've eventually got to move up, and they'll actually use that smoke to get a lot of position. Once that fades, they know exactly where he is. This should be a G2 kill.
Yeah, Brokey always in a bit of a rough way there. The 4v4 found. Carrigan with the swing decides to get involved. He's done waiting around.
Okay.
And in 1 mag, he's laid waste to G2. Monacy will trade him. 20 seconds left. He's running up like he wants to attempt this, but surely not. Onto the AK now, hiding out of the car, going up, going over, but not the other kill for Monacy. Carrigan absolutely locks them out of that round.
Yeah, you've always got to have an anti-flash player, right? You've always got to have someone looking into the wall coming up long, but G2 are just trying to pounce on Brokey, and that timing, all the util there for FaZe, from the double nading pit to the 2 smokes used on car to that flash, it could not have gone better. The fact that Monacy even attempts that round after saving in the previous shows the mindset, at least for G2, and shows it for Monacy. He's feeling like he wants to take fights, but not all of them get one. Brokey picks him in mid to start the round. But I still do expect a very explosive matchup here. I hope we can get that out of Monacy as well. Nico's got his AWP now. Round's a bit scrambled now for G2.
Yeah, I like that Nico's, used that extra smoke at least, right? Just to throw one down onto the Xbox, trying to put a bit of misdirection out of this, and it's util that was going free anyway. Oh, Rops. Oh, no, Rops! Oh, dear, baby, no! He ran into the Molly, then into a corner he thought was safe, but it wasn't safe because Mollies have legs, they can move, and it followed him. Brokey missing a shot in middle. Do not say that Molotov kill is the thing that lets G2 back into the round. Oh dear, Rain's on his edge. JKS will finish the job, and G2 are making this happen. Twists, oh my goodness. He needs to show up now in a big way in this little corner. Spammed! Hunter never even saw him.
Wow.
Oh no, G2 with a 4th, and it starts in the most ludicrous of ways. They might have lost Monacy from the get-go on that mid-fight, but they're able to make up for it.
Blimey. A bit of luck in there for G2, but they capitalize well. Very well indeed. Brokey still holding top mid, was not ready for everyone to be coming out of under. And G2 already a tendency to hit this B bomb site being shown. Definitely one of the, I want to say, safer ways to get rounds, right? But it does somewhat rely on those opening kills more than anything. 4-3 with all the money. Monacy's AWP kept going. FaZe yet to build a bank account now. They are on eco.
Oh, I don't want to relive
It looked
this.
safe. I mean, it looked pretty safe. He realized that is...
Dude, look at how much it really followed him. It really followed him.
I never see Robs looking like pissed. Like you see people hit desks or roll their eyes or do whatever. Robs is just like...
Is this the Hunter twist kill? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like, look at that.
Good check. I mean, you know, you see that a lot of players moving into positions.
It's even more crazier because that's obviously where Rops was mollied, right? Yeah. That's where Rops died. That's exactly why Twists went and played that spot.
And that's exactly why Hunter spammed it.
Yeah.
Mind games go deep in these neck of the woods. Nah, he wouldn't check here, would he? Very strong start out of the gate for G2. Boost. Luckily, no threat from Odyssey this time. That lower smoke scares G2 for a moment, might force some util just to take the lower tunnels, but no real threats there, just Rain peering in. Carrigan anchoring B with the rifle, knowing that means one of two things: either G2 hit it and it's FaZe's best chance of winning a round, or the best save spot if G2 go anywhere towards A. Will help out in middle though, and Odyssey's peering in. Not again, Robs. He runs from the fire this time. He wants nothing to do with it.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. He's haunted by the memories of that B hold. He hears them going up over the Xbox. He knows they're trying to make a play out through middle right now. You do have Rain playing the drop-down spot, but it's with a USP. Normally you have an AWP here, right? A rifle is kind of really worst-case scenario. Rain, if he gets anything done with the USP here, I'll be impressed. Oh, Nico, double opener. And the A site now belongs to G2. FaZe already thinking about saving, really. And saving what? That's the question. You'd love to take something out of this round with you.
Even on this lurk, Hunter is so passive. He's just waiting for that bomb, so FaZe are convinced. And then he can clean up some exits. Although, don't want to give a gun over here. Nice headshot. Brokey behind the site, and he knows it. Hunter's got the round in the palm of his hand. 5 alive for G2, so it should be. And 5 on the T side, a guarantee.
Yeah, Robs, he's been waiting in mid since the start of the round, but cleared immediately, of course. And so it ends up being flawless for the G2 squad. Those are kind of how those little low econ, anti-eco rounds, you really want them to go. Want to try and build up as much of a bank as you can. A G2 doing good in that regard right now.
Brokey's had, what, one AWP where he picked Monacy in mid and then had to flick down when they faced him lower and died. So, you know, not the funnest of starts for Brokey to this game.
I gotta say, man, as the games have gone on, you kind of see that Hooksy, it feels like he is making things like very well regimented, you know? That's how a lot of these rounds have gone for G2. They're not really throwing anything away in the post. They're very rarely giving you ways back in. It all looks very, very synchronized right now, and I'm liking it. There's no sloppiness about it. Even though there's these great individuals, they're very tame. You know, they're playing with a real purpose. Rain trying to play around this smoke in middle. G2, right now, they own mid fully. FaZe do not even want to risk taking peeks for this right now.
Really trying to force reactions in this round, throwing util everywhere and still defaulting with 2 players on the extremes rather. Pick attempt for Nico. Crouched in was Brokey, not offering up anything. And this is what they want. This is exactly what G2 want. You're playing into their hands if you get aggressive in this round. Rain's fighting for a 5-on-4. But if he goes through, there's players ready for him. We won't make that mistake. But 45 seconds, eventually G2 realize the kills aren't going to have to come to them. They've got to make an execute happen.
Oh, well, they go and seek it, but that first fight goes the way of FaZe. Now they spot this man at ramp. Brokey's been seen. No flashes to help him here, so he's going to get dealt with immediately. Oh, A site starting to fall into G2 control. It's still fine for FaZe. They can try and group to play retake here. Smoke spam would be lovely, and they're going to get it. Twists just as Nico's about to escape to safety. Able to tip the scales back in favor of FaZe Clan. Karrigan sees this smoke, but that's not going to deter him. And if anything, having that smoke down, if you think that's going to make the back any more secure, then you might be sorely mistaken. Those 2 kills come in very, very quick. And JKS holds on. 5 points of health, but still putting up numbers. Rops in the 1v2, and so much time's elapsed, he can't justify it anymore. Oh no, this one. It was looking good for a moment there. There was some real glimmers of hope in this for FaZe. And G2 have snuffed them out right at the buzzer.
Looks he should have the AWP though. Bomb's going to throw it to him, and he's okay. That was a great crossfire from G2, and you saw how screwed, I think it was Rain, got there. He jumps for the info, trying to get that kill in a 4-on-3, because JKS is on the elbow on the corner. Rain just jumps into him, essentially. He thought it was clear after killing Monacy, and then Hooksy swings in tandem. Perfect post plant out of G2, and Karrigan unfortunately goes too late. He tried to play with his teammates, but they died just instantly in tandem. So his position comes a little more obvious. And G2, a 30-second hit in a 4-on-5, and they make it work. Some really nice T rounds out of here. You've got to be loving it. And now Nico Hunter just walking into B. Rops will get that kill, and Hunter gone from the round. Nico doesn't want to dig that grave any deeper, so does not attempt the trade. It's a safe play, playing for the late round. Rops does get killed as Nico spams him. Smoke fired back by Twist, but Nico's coming through. That's such an aggressive play.
Let's be clear right now. Nico's just calmed it. He's like, guys, don't even bother trying to take long. Whatever Hooksy was saying, just ignore it. Come back to me. I've got all of B. And so G2 are just going to take this one in their stride. Monacy spotting heads over in middle. Karrigan versus Nico's taking place in the B site, and now they don't have it anymore. The bomb's going to have to go back through spawn and into A, but it's really not the end of the world, that one kill. Nice little feel-good moment for Karrigan. That really is all it should be.
Yeah, it's eco rounds where, you know, the style for G2, the slow defaulting, holding all of the map really pays dividends, because FaZe have nothing to lose by getting aggressive. I can't believe Nico pretends he's leaving, walks all the way out. Oh, crikey. All the way out of B, only to walk back in through his own smoke and get a double kill. Yeah, do you want to save it? I would. Karrigan, thank you very much.
I know, because he's hit 2 blinders, there's probably a part of him in the back of his mind that's like, oh, but I could.
Well, he's
but I could.
Usually an AWPer, but he has been known to don the big green back in the day.
Hooksy is coming to try and take it off of him, and he will. Gets that AWP out right at the end.
Massive.
Honestly, for G2, that's a nice little bonus, right? Just denying that AWP save means that, you know, Brokey's now going to field his own. Your investment gets that much cheaper. The big ticket item is saved out of the round. Really, really nice stuff here from G2, and it's got all the makings of a great T side already. You know, it's on this trajectory where it's just going to keep trending up till FaZe chains some rounds together, and there hasn't really been a lot of evidence that's going to happen anytime soon. So I'm kind of worried here. We might be en route to a blowout.
Hooksy, I mean, for the poor, he is the bank. That's 2 AWPs saved for Monacy now in these last couple of rounds. Monacy's even tagged Rain on that long cross, doesn't even need to commit. He knows he's hit that shot. A low player at A is temptation for G2, and they're going to walk up catwalk. Nico flashing Hooksy. He's going to drop spawn with this. Oh, Brokey forced to fire, and he can't get behind cover. He is so damn blind, and Hooksy will capitalize. Nico now takes the reins. I love that molly. If there was an AWP on the corner, it would, you know, not be able to see through the smoke of it. G2 running in. A 5-on-4, a low long player, or rather back to B. Karrigan's at long, and he might walk into JKS. This round is already done.
Yeah. And once more, I just want to give some props to the calling, really. You know, Hooksy gets one of the kill that wins the round here as well. But more so than that, he's done such a good job of conditioning FaZe throughout this first, 10 rounds of gameplay that it's going to be these very, very slow rounds. It's going to be these slow, methodical defaults. And what that means is that FaZe, that they're kind of they're pretty sparse on the old resources early on. They're kind of spread out, taking everything into account. They're waiting with util, like gauging the kind of action that G2 are taking before they lob it in because the rounds have been slow. And so what that means is when you finally get dealt a faster up-tempo round, just straight up short like that, you know, you're not at all ready for it. Even here, G2 trying to hunt the guns right at the end, and even taking one out is a big win.
And the crazy part about that, you know, like we've seen a lot of 4v5 wins already for G2 in this game, but, you know, if you lose, if Nico flashes Hooksy there and Hooksy just dies immediately, it's not the end of the world. If that's your least firepower player out of the round, you still have an insane amount of entry ability to bring back that 4-on-5 later. So it's the perfect risk being made by G2, and Hooksy even one-ups it and gets that opening kill, winning the round. So yeah, these are great T-side rounds right now for G2, and it's cool because Hooksy, he's been memed on, he'll forever be memed on, but at the end of the day, while those first few games were bad, he has looked better every series we've seen.
I look at it through a different
They were
lens,
bad. They were bad.
No,
but he's looking better.
not his first games. I don't think he's getting memed on. I think he's become, you know, it's kind of a negative thing's been turned into a positive. It's actually quite sweet. And I hope, you know, I like to think everyone who's ever spammed a Hooksy before has played a part in the recovery arc of his stat line.
Exactly, and he's looked way better every series we've seen. He's, you know, this is not the series I expected Hooksy to be the guy to rely on in these gun rounds, but yeah, right there and there, case in point, gets a 5-on-4, closes the round for G2. 8-3. This is an excellent T-side beginning against the world #1, but keep in mind it is Dust. If there were a map FaZe were guaranteed to lose in this game, it would be this one. But still, not to take it away for G2. Had some phenomenal rounds. And now they look for more. Brokey scouting middle, half by. He's stepped. Luke's going to drop the hinge smoke. Sides against it. Let's Nico take it instead. It will land perfectly. I see everyone spam that hinge smoke when they hear it click, but I've never seen anyone hit anyone throwing it. I want to see moving up cat. Is there a gap in the top? Doesn't look like it.
He wants to fight this. Oh, and with good reason on the smoke fade. You could just tell with how he was looking at it, he really wanted that smoke to be gone and to have this open sight line into middle. Catching Brokey. There is this flank through the tunnels. Nice for Robs. It's at least going to give way to the 4v4. And now G2 are going into a stack out at long. Knives are out. They were not ready for these sorts of numbers. And so suddenly this gets a lot more interesting. 20 seconds and the bomb's dropped at long. Nico, he kind of needs you to fight him. He needs both fights here if he wants to win this. And with only one man fighting, Twists over at the long side. This round should not be winnable for Nico. Lovely one for FaZe. They can finally look to get back into this. They've not had anything go their way for the longest while now. The last 5 rounds in a row falling to G2, but it's that one on a low econ round that they squeak something past them.
Yeah, not ready. The first misread for G2, absolutely unexpected. Triple long setup there in that round. And G2 go stumbling right into it. Yeah, FaZe needed it, man. They've had awful money all game right now. They've barely had orbs for Brokey. He's finally going to get to pick one up for free. Fast out long for Monacy. Brokey's on that quick boost as well. Hooksy's running up to him.
Oh, yeah, they might have. And that's a lot of info with that. You know they were boosting it short, and you also know that you're probably deeper than they're ready for. Twist starts to lobble this util into middle. It's a fearful spot to be in, just kind of looking, peering around the corner of the unknown like this. Nico's even crept all the way out through long while this is happening. So right now, FaZe, they're trying to plug this hole in CT. They're trying to figure out what's going on in middle. Oh,
that's the
they lose that fight. JKS was out on an island, but that didn't stop him from winning it. And then you even have this late activation of Nico, if you need it, ready to pounce around the long side. FaZe, this A bomb site is about to get tested in a very real way, and they're failing on every level of the curriculum right now, man. Nico arriving over at long, ready to cut down the rotates. Brokey walks to his death, and Rops is left saving all the way over at B. G2 with 9 rounds and a super convincing A-take throw in the way of FaZe.
And, you know, considering G2 are locked in with a top 3 spot, playoffs guaranteed for this team, it would have been very easy to expect them to let off the gas in this game. We've seen teams do that before. Oh, the 5-0, it's fun, but it's not a necessity. G2 are gunning for it. Because a statement win over the world #1, who doesn't want to take that?
Yeah, plus, you know, to a certain degree, it's almost personal, you know, like there's a lot of history between these teams, between these players. There's even very recent overlap at Katowice, even as far as JKS, you know, now donning the G2 jersey despite being the FaZe stand-in at that event that they won. You know, even if
leaders.
Exactly, it's like across kind of every level of measuring this up, there is some sort of existing rivalry there. So I think it is a kind of personal one for G2. They don't want to win this for anything to do with the group. They want to win this to show that they can win this. Not just to us, but to themselves as well.
Yeah, a big mental hurdle to climb over, right? Even though it's early in the tournament and it's playoffs and it's finals where, you know, I really want to see G2 tested. This is a great, great eye test to end this group, well, at least the last couple of days of it. That's unfortunate for Rain. Karrigan was all the way up mid though, so he will get the trade. But Rain definitely didn't expect to be exposed at that point. Want to see quick 1-for-1 in middle. G2 have to do it without their star sniper.
Yeah, I'm not too worried yet, though. G2, they haven't really had a lot of trouble, even in 4v5. So the 4v4, you know, I'm not concerned for them just yet. Oftentimes, the routing's been so good that they've just kind of turned these ones around in what feels like a millisecond. Now, this time, that push from Nico, cancelled out by Karrigan over at short, has given the man advantage the other way. FaZe sat pretty. Hunter wants to try and trade this. They're really trying to give the illusion that it's this play in A, but Karrigan breaking that illusion apart. Rops still sat waiting inside of this B site. He's been waiting a long time for a fair gunfight as Rops, and he'll win that first one. Hooksy dead. JKS followed up onto. And between Rops and Karrigan, they find a 5th round for FaZe Clan.
Sick round out of Karrigan, right? Like the aggressive mid pushes, despite all this defaulting for G2. FaZe still don't get scared into playing too passive. They take a lot of space. And Karrigan, he got through that Molotov on short. He ticked in it. It's likely Nico heard it. Goes for that perfect headshot fight. Really good advantage for Nico. And he just gets bopped by Karrigan, who even flicks back off the flash and kills Hunter. Like, what a perfect... Oh! Okay, well, reality sets in very quickly, doesn't it, Brokey? 4 and 12 on the guy, but he's been getting pretty wrecked through these mid-smokes. And has only had, I'd say, no more than 4 rounds with the AWP. It's been a rough half for the Brokester. Odyssey's at the helm of all of that. Karrigan on this off angle. It's not uncommon to see him here. But with 1 comes 2. And maybe even a flash to boot. Karrigan,
oh my god, the timing on that.
They don't need to respect that smoke if they don't want to. They can flash through it, they will. They chase him down. Lovely hunt for Hooksy. Flash over the top, and they're just gonna run it into the site.
Hell yeah, they are. Rain doing everything he can, but he's very much alone here. Just one player trying to make all the difference for FaZe. Smoke's really making him feel a little claustrophobic now as they make their way up the short side. He dropped it for himself originally. Hunter dead. Rops on this rotate now spotted. They learn about it. Twists is here as well, but wrapped through middle. Nico's got the round in the palm of his hand. Both there and both dead. G2 up on a double digits. It's a storming start to their map pick in this series.
Cathedral into the tap. Oh, Twist with 2! Insane! Insane! Concerns, the sound is there, the spray is 2, he's got a second AK, and he hits Bin off the bomb! They have to run him down, Zipple's posted, Twist, you've got no hope! No! No way!
Well, G2 have a storming start out of the gate. Things are looking good right about now here on Dust, if you're a G2 fan. FaZe find themselves on the back foot, 5 rounds to the 10 of their opponents. And a bit of a slow start here from a couple of key players. Brokey, maybe the most notable, going pretty quiet to open this one up at 4 and 12. Gonna need to have a recovery if FaZe want to keep the dream alive on Dust.
Pressure's on immediately when the Julies peek mid and tap Robs. It's actually Nico with the USP, but they take lower nonetheless. FaZe get long. Hooksy all the way at the back. Not an easy shot to hit. He's going to give it a go. Why not? Nothing to lose. He likely won't die in this position, especially not with the cover from Nico. Who smokes? FaZe can throw down the wall. Doesn't block it, he wants the taps instead, but they're already very wide, and Hooksy is dead. He hangs around in that angle. Smoke drop to the back of A. Too many targets. FaZe make it into the site, and a good flash to get Hunter. Rain capitalizes upon it. m0NESY trading. G2 just trying to hold on, but FaZe is squeezing this round by. It's a safe plant, forcing them to stay in the site. Twist can't really help out. There's no flanker. G2 are moving in fast.
m0NESY, with his USP, leads the charge. Dead after the first. These are good trades back for FaZe. And it's going to get left on an Eco in the 1v3. Now, Twists comes back from long. He's here at the crossing, and they might just look to triple peek this on Twists' contact. He's now been spotted, and this is where all of them throw themselves at Nico. Lovely little bit of safeguard in that round from FaZe. You can see that idea coming together. And that's a little bit reassuring here, just to stop Nico doing anything wild in the clutch.
Yeah, USPs are terrifying, man. But P250s with armor, that's a whole different
Also,
piece.
I do just want to say, you said Hooksy probably not going to die there. Got one tapped by a P250.
Yeah,
literally
I thought
first
he
bullet,
would just fire a couple of bullets and run, but he didn't have time to, right? Ross just goes wide.
Well, that's also why P250s are great in pistols.
Yeah.
4Ts.
So good.
Just gives you an edge in those long-range fights.
Definitely worth dropping over when you've bought your util. I mean, smoke flash P250 is just a perfect buy, or even the double P250 drop with a flash. Now we're going for it. Raid bosses, Tech 9, lol.
All right, Nico. He's clearly feeling confident.
Sure.
That's what this angle screams. He's got a bit of support from m0NESY. I kind of like the idea behind that peak, you know, having the Deagle and the Scout both there facing. Their combined power kind of hitting like an AWP at this range. But Nico's taking a bit more of a passive angle. Instead, trying to set up his teammate over at short with a flash. That will leave m0NESY to hold down the long side, but both ends of this little hold find success. m0NESY's dead after the first shore, and they are spilling into the site, but right now, G2 is still in a spot where they can give this round a go.
They're in no hurry. JKS has a nade, but he's just a long way out right now. He can't stop this plant. Brokey's also low on long side, but the bomb is for him. G2, are they going to give this a go? JKS checks flank, and now they come and group back up on the catwalk. Everyone here but the player down in spawn. They're running it in. Hooksy headshot by Rops on the site. Nade is good, though, for a trade. 3 on 2. The time is the problem. There's no kit.
Yeah, so they don't have a lot of seconds to work with, but they're quick here. These are smooth. This could still work out. They lose the long player. JKS with the deagle.
Ow.
Finishes off the job. The nade started that retake, and then there's JKS's deagle to close it. G2 with a force buy win here. Get that one past FaZe. An immediate 5v3 upon the peak at long, and the flash in a short. They lose the site. They have to retake in the 4 versus 3. They give a lot of time for JKS to move in with the nade.
JKS has been on the money in this game, right? Absolutely. And you know how important that round is if you're G2 as well. Winning the force buy to stop FaZe's comeback in its tracks. Now the wars have begun yet again, but I don't know. When we've seen FaZe in these force wars in the recent games, they've not gone super well for them. It's gun rounds, they do their best work. They even lost, I mean, FaZe have won, you know, both pistols, and they've lost both second rounds. So, should give you an idea as to what we're talking about. Hunter makes it over to the B side. FaZe might mid to be in this round with a bomb in upper. Also a lack of utility. They could throw in a double mid smoke and even dribble one out of front tunnels. Maybe nades into B?
Yeah, they have like the perfect util to mid to B. All right, 2 smokes for the cross, then in tunnels you got a smoke to get your players out, and the molly was the nice touch. That's what I wanted to home in on. Rops has got that to try and displace players in B. It's not gone swimmingly. They've all kind of been locked out from the get-go. Twist did sneak up mid. His success story is pretty abruptly brought to an end. Rops trying to dodge these shots, and he catches hands instead. JKS taps him out of the round, and that's G2 finding the conversion, breaking the money of FaZe, and looking to go 13 rounds up, Hugo.
Honestly, he's 5-1 in openers as well, and you know that's the one was the brokey mid pick in the first half, but he has been sick, and G2 have no sign of slowing down in this second half. We're waiting for gun rounds for FaZe, still an eco first. One flash just to throw them out. FaZe may as well give a few seconds in this round for G2 to dump some util, get some money out of them. It's really all they'll be able to accomplish in a round with flat Glocks.
Yeah, this should be a pretty uneventful one as far as they go. Just a pop flash through the mid doors. Hunter's caught by it, but he's playing so far back that, you know, that flash was for someone close mid to try and run them down, to try and beat them there. Instead, slipping up the catwalk. Sure, you've got a bit of control now. You've got some ground taken over towards short, but it won't amount to anything here for FaZe. All they're really hoping for is that they're fed a kill. Just like that, Robs at 1 HP and still trying to stay alive with the Glock. It's very wishful thinking for FaZe.
Honestly, ends the entire round here. 3 kills on his plate, and it's done. 13 to G2, 4 alive. They're winning the early halves of both halves again, and now we rely on this gun round. Now FaZe, it's this first buy or it's bust. And again, brokey is not going to get the orb. Maybe even in this second half at all. It took him the longest time to get it on their CT side as well. But G2 have won the money game. FaZe have got to pay that price. A beating right now, it's slowly turned into. This is FaZe's only chance to stop that beating. Put their hands over their head for a second.
Yeah, they try and full send it down through middle. All right, they got the little hinge smoke lobbed over from outside of long. And now they've got this real estate up the catwalk. m0NESY lies in wait, though. And on the AWP drop-down spot, he's going to be in a great place to just get one, get the hell out of there. And already that's throwing problems the way of FaZe. There's no real method to trade that one. You have that 1 millisecond where he's vulnerable, and then once he's out of there, m0NESY ain't coming back. But here he is coming back, actually. He does want to do it all over again. That smoke makes him reconsider. Instead, swapping out with Nico, who's going to try and play up close to the smokes. If FaZe look to move up the catwalk, they're not running into just one man with this AWP. Now Nico is here as well. That was mid, I guess.
Yeah.
On a seat, catching them moving out into middle. So now FaZe have got no choice but to fight for this side control. m0NESY trapped, Nico swinging, dead after the first, but m0NESY still just keeps throwing himself in to fight after fight. Tag from the AWP, the Hooksy's able to close, and a great round for m0NESY there. Man, Brokey's absence is felt even more right now because m0NESY is just taking control of the server, right? And you don't have that AWP on the other side to step up and counteract it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like FaZe are on one, right? It's like that MIBR game where FaZe came in very cold. No one's hitting the shots that we expect to see out of these players. Helped out by G2 just throwing great utility all game. Supportive flashes coming out on both halves. It smokes down at the choke points there as FaZe try and get up catwalk. That was pretty cooked. And now G2 are just flexing their muscles, reminding FaZe what they're up against. 3 kills as they rush T-spawn in the opening few seconds. Carrigan in that round even tried that mid to A play that we saw yesterday that completely shredded outsiders, but even m0NESY was ready for it from ramp. You can't pull the wool over G2's eyes. And it's them putting stitches in FaZe right now. 2 more. Rain gets a kill, Twist gets picked, and m0NESY's ready to finish this one yet again. This will be 15 rounds for G2 and a last-ditch attempt for FaZe to remain in this map and not have it be a complete catastrophe. So it feels unlikely, feels impossible, in fact. It feels like, Harry, we'll need to rely on Nuke if this game was ever going to be competitive, because G2 have not had to work hard.
Yeah, man, no, this is really rough. You could kind of feel it getting out of control in the first half, really. It's always hard to put a leash back on the beast once you kind of let it go, and that's what FaZe are learning right now, you know? They're on the rough end of the money still, coming in with this investment. It's their last-ditch attempt to try and keep the Dust2 dream alive, but G2... better armed in this one, right? Still getting to be the only team donning an AWP. That gives m0NESY so much freedom here, and he's in the right place at the right time again. Over towards long, there's a double setup for G2. Nico down in the pit has been dealt with. That's an opener. Rain takes it one step further, spamming Hooksy out through the smoke. m0NESY trapped in at the car, said that he's got the AWP for a bit more freedom, but it doesn't matter when Rain's hitting shots like that. Hunter on this rotate also cut down. And so FaZe, they bring the guns back out, and they stay afloat.
A nice late long exec for FaZe as well. They even dropped that smoke in the long doors preemptively to put out the Molotov. That really signals that they're rushing out long, but G2 see nothing, use all their util, and then suddenly the AWP smoked off, and Rain just hits some bangers, clears back pit, when Nico was set up so well to just win that round. FaZe don't fall for it. And Rain does hit some bangers. That pre-fire one tap on the corner, sheesh. JKS trying to save, and he's had a damn good game, as we've already said, but caught with this nice foul, there will be no survivors. 7 rounds for FaZe, their first T-side round since the pistol, but still G2 not in a case of worry just yet. Brokey's got an AWP.
Finally, gonna try his hand at the mid pick. Smoked off, they don't give him the chance. Rain, he's decided that he might try be the guy to save this one. Running through the long doors again, he's taken this real estate early for his team. Getting the job done alone.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like when FaZe go quiet and have these maps, and they happen on Dust more than anywhere else, really. It's always Rain just being the solo player, being the only guy to make a bit of a ruckus. Rops is also here, up at the same scoreline, but more often than not, it does feel like that old reliable player of Rain is always there. Even if FaZe aren't. Missed Molly. That was meant to land on catwalk for Twist, and it would have been big. There's 3 players short side now for G2. FaZe can't push them off either which way. They've just got to commit with the long smokes. Robs can't really do a lot from T-spawn right now. It's a 4-on-4 inside of the site.
Yeah, Robson's making sure they haven't been pushed in top mid, but his teammates might need a bit of a helping hand here. They're already moving up into the site, and the nades have really done a number on them before they even make it in. 2 players down. Rob's trying to pick up the pace to come in on a backstab all the way up cap, but his teammates are getting decimated in the meantime. And so unless he can 1v5, it's done. G2
Wow.
steal Dust2 away at 16-7. Very convincing opening map from them here. Not even close. The FaZe, their hopes now rest on Nuke. They've got to turn it around on their home map.